Hey, Thorns fans! And Schatz here, and joined by a very special guest, Sophia Smith, Thorns rookie, top pick of the 2020 NWSL Draft. Sophia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. All right, let's get right to it. You and the club returning to the pitch very soon now for the beginning of the NWSL Fall Series. Up first, Portland hosting the OL Reign at Providence Park. Now, you missed the NWSL Challenge Cup in the Salt Lake City area. You've had that minor knee injury, but have been training, cleared to play. Tell us how you're doing.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I mean, it's so awesome that we're able to figure out a way to make training work and to make these games happen. But I've been feeling really good. I've been training 100%, and I think in this first game, hoping to get some minutes and then build off of that depending on how it goes. But I have full confidence that my knee's healed finally.
It must be really rewarding to just be on the pitch training, just to be with your new teammates as they get to know you and you get to know them.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. I mean, I spent a lot of time with them in Utah, but it's a whole different connection when I get to play with them on the field. But it's so exciting, and it's so exciting to kind of get to know how everyone plays, what each player likes, and they get the opportunity to do the same for me. So it's been awesome.
You mentioned Salt Lake, the Challenge Cup, the bubble tournament, whatever you want to call it. Let's go back to that for a second for you personally. You're not able to play a single minute, and yet you're with the team. You go to every training session. You're there on the sideline, watching, learning, observing, just soaking it in. You're at every meeting. You're at every function. Why was that important to you while you rehabbed to integrate into the team like that?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, obviously I'm new to the team, so I had so much that I needed to learn. And I think sitting on the sideline is always hard, but I think it gives you a whole new perspective into the team and to each player and to the style of play. So I think it sucked not being able to play, but I think in the grand scheme of things, I learned so much just being there and observing. And also I built amazing relationships with my team, which I think is going to be huge going into these games. We didn't have much time to prepare again, obviously, given the circumstances. So I think those relationships that I built while I was there are going to be so important.
You endured a season-ending injury while at Stanford your freshman year in a match against Utah. You said you learned a lot about yourself when that injury happened, knowing that you were going to miss the rest of the season, the rigors of rehab, remaining patient and focused. Were you able to draw a little bit of that experience back in college and apply it to having to watch the Challenge Cup?
Yes, absolutely. I think that was so huge for me, being able to kind of navigate this situation. Obviously, it's hard, but I think having gone through it before with a really serious injury, it definitely made this a lot easier. I feel like I'm good at it now, but it definitely helped, and it definitely helped me know, what my strong points are, what I needed to focus on, what my weaknesses are when it comes to patience and not being able to play and just kind of grow.
I know Thorns fans, you're off the charts excited, but Thorns fans are so psyched to see you on the pitch with veterans and then fellow rookie and the number 2 overall pick, Morgan Weaver out of Washington State. It's so interesting. Both of you guys playing in the Pac-12, knocking heads in some epic matches. Your sophomore season last year, Morgan's senior season, and now you get teammates. What's that like?
It's so fun. I love Morgan. I didn't know her too well going into this. Obviously, we had similarities coming from the Pac-12, coming from college, but she's awesome. And I think we're gonna be awesome up top together. I think we have a really good connection off the field. So I'm excited to see what it's like on the field in these next games.
All right. You've made your mark at every level. You just keep accelerating through the U.S. national youth system. You play your college ball at Stanford for that freshman year before you get hurt, and then a sophomore year that was unbelievable. 2019 national championship. You're the most outstanding player leading Stanford to that title. And then the Thorns make a flurry of moves and make you that number 1 pick in the 2020 NWSL Draft. All right, help me understand this. Soccer experts say you're the future of the NWSL and of the U.S. national team. You're 19 years old. How in the heck are you able to deal with these ridiculous, crazy expectations?
Yeah, I actually turned 20 recently, so I'm not that.
You're out of your teens?
August. I turned 20 in
All right.
August.
Well,
So
welcome to 20. But
Thank
still,
you.
you know where I'm coming from.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of high expectations for myself since I was young.
Mm-hmm.
So having those expectations from other people, I think it's exciting, and it means that other people believe in me. So I see it as pressure as a privilege. So it's exciting for me, and I hope that, I put everything out there. I do everything that I can, and hopefully that takes me to where I want to be. But it's exciting, and it's an honor that people believe in me and see that I can be the future.
It's one thing for folks to believe in you, and you've given them ample reason to believe in you since you were a little kid. But obviously, you've got to believe in yourself. Where does that come from? That ability to believe and not shrink under pressure.
Yeah, I always say I think that's one of the hardest things to kind of figure out for yourself, is how you're going to consistently believe in yourself, regardless of, all the obstacles that you may face. Having confidence in yourself is so huge. And I think that's something that my parents instilled in me from a very, very young age, is that you can't let anyone ever take your confidence away. That's within your control. And as long as you have that, figured out, then everything else will just fall into place.
Thorns head coach Mark Parsons raves about you, your skills and your smarts. But it's interesting. He's got this little sniff test that also includes personality and IQ. Mark says those are 2 of your strongest personalities. What do you think he means by that?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a second to think about this. Personality and IQ. Those are the 2 qualities, I should say, that he thinks separates you from other really good players. What do you think?
I would say IQ. I think I have a really good understanding of the game.
Okay.
I watch a lot of soccer. I study a lot of soccer, and I think that's noticeable when players do that. You can see it on the field. You can have discussions about it. And then personality-wise, I guess I've had to grow up super fast. So I'm pretty mature for my age. I've had to kind of figure it all out. Starting at like 14, 15 years old, I had to kind of learn how to, live on my own when I'm going to camps.
And you were always playing a level up. So you were always playing with young women that were actually older than you.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think growing up, I was always playing up in camps. I'm always one of the younger ones. So I think I just kind of had to figure that out, and how to fit in. You have to, mature a little bit quicker. But I think naturally I'm a pretty mature person. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to ask Mark about that one.
Yeah.
He's never told me that.
Well, I think, and ask him about this too. So I think you should check on that one. Personality and IQ. I think you nailed it, by the way. But Mark says that what he looks at in a player, besides the obvious, okay, is what kind of player is she off the field?
Mm-hmm.
I got you on the field, but what kind of player is she off the field? He wants to know who you take water breaks with, who you get off the bus with, who you talk to. Where do you suppose he's coming with that? I love it, because I think he's getting to the heart of who you are.
I think he is, yeah.
Off the field, not just on it.
Yeah, and as a coach, I think that's huge. It's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to kind of connect with your players on a level, more than soccer.
Yep.
Off the field, I'd say I'm just a pretty down to earth, chill person. I like to think I get along with everyone. You know, I've made friends pretty quickly on this team, and I go out of my way to do that because I think relationships off the field are huge. Yeah, I think I'll have to have a chat with Mark. So he doesn't push me hard like this.
I put you on the spot with this one.
You did.
So I expect you to follow up. Does that sound fair?
Yes, that sounds fair.
Okay. If you're a defender, if you're defending you, if you're defending Sophia, what are you doing to try to take away your game since you do everything at such a high level? What would you do to stop you?
Oh, man. I don't know if I want to.
Coming at you. I keep
away. I would say I think the hardest defenders to get past are the ones who don't give me space.
Okay.
My game is I like to get the ball faced up, going at players. And if you give me a little bit of space, I'm going to take it.
Amen.
Yeah, so I'd say just the defenders that are hardest to get past are the ones who are up close, tight to me when I get the ball, and the ones who don't care who I am, who aren't afraid to, put a little pressure, be a little physical. I think, not to give any tips away, but I think those are the ones who are hardest to get past. So if I was a defender, that's what I would do.
Duly noted. You grew up in Colorado. You watched current national team players like Mal Pugh and Lindsey Horan do their thing in your home state. Now you get to play with Lindsey, and I know that's got to be just a thrill for you.
Oh, it's so fun. Lindsey and I have gotten super close off the field. She's one of my best friends on this team. So, I've played with her a little bit in some camps here and there, but getting to be on the same team as her consistently, see her train, I learned so much from her. In Utah, she was one of the main players I like to watch because she's just all over the place. Her work ethic is insane. So she's someone that I just admire and am honored to play with and learn from. So I'm excited.
And is it true it's on your journey at one of the camps that you played in, training camps with the U.S. national team, did you room with Becky Sauerbrunn?
Yeah, my very first full team camp. I was 16. Becky was my roommate, and I was so scared. I was like, they're gonna put me with one of the veterans. She's been here for years, and I'm 16. This is my first camp. I don't know how anything works at this level. I was so nervous, but she was awesome, super down to earth, just, treated me like anyone would treat anyone. And it was awesome. And it's just crazy to think here we are, however many years down the road and we're on the same team. So it's crazy.
It's a wonderful small world, young lady.
I know.
It's great. Speaking of Thorns connections, I wonder if Thorns fans remember that this is not when you play at Providence Park, you make your professional debut, it will not be your first time playing at that park. No. And I want you to go back to March of 2017. You and your U23 teammates are in town for some of the spring games that the Thorns hosted. Do you remember a special moment in that particular match?
I do. It was a pretty exciting moment.
Come on.
Yeah, so we were playing the Thorns, and I have to say, playing in that stadium, not as a Thorn, is tough because the environment is just insane. The fans really love their players and really don't like who they're playing against. But it was just insane, and I remember just stepping into the field with the fans all there, and I knew right then and there, I would love to play here. This is it's a dream to play here. I scored a goal in that game. I think we ended up winning. I don't think Mark likes to talk about it.
Sophia, you scored the game-winning goal in the 90th minute. You poach a pass from A.D. French, and then you beat her. Let's provide some details. Game winner, 90th minute.
I know, this is my teammate now, though. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. I got chills when that happened, and for weeks after that game, I just couldn't stop replaying it in my head. But but also kind of thought that would be so cool if I was on the Thorns and scored a goal in the stadium. Like imagine how loud it would be then. So yeah, it was crazy.
As Mark said after that game, and I quote, "We've never been able to deal with Sophia Smith, whether she was with the U20s or the U23. I'm just saying." Yeah. Got to ask you just a couple more questions before we let you go. You talked about pressure. You talked about expectations. You talked about dealing with the future of this and the future of that. What does Sophia Smith do to relax, to step away from those pressures? Maybe meeting some new friends, just hanging out with teammates. What do you do, Sophia, to just kind of,
Yeah, when I get the chance to do that, I just like to hang out. Hang out with teammates, watch movies, watch TV shows. I'm super into like self-care, face masks, stuff like that. I love that stuff. But just, like I said, I'm super laid back, super chill. I don't like doing anything crazy. But I've gone on quite a few hikes here in Oregon.
Good.
Apparently that's the thing to do here, but that's super relaxing. It's super fun to see around the state. Yeah.
One of the things that I really admire about you at your age, just freshly minted 20, is that you've never been afraid to talk about your goals and to dream big and to think out loud when it comes to goals. Can you share with us, when you look up at the stars, you lay your head on the pillow at night, can you share with us maybe what some of those goals might be? You've reached so many. Your pro debut is out there. What else is there for you, Sophia?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest goal from day one is I want to be the best women's soccer player in the world at some point. And I think nobody should be afraid to say that. Nobody should be afraid to dream too big or have too big of ambitions, because you never know. And I think I know what it takes to do that. And I know that, I have to give everything I have to do that. But I've always been willing to do that. Because, why not? Why not me? But yeah, I mean, I think like I said, having confidence in yourself is just huge. And to be able to speak those things out loud just makes it feel even more real. That it could happen one day.
Thorns fans can't wait to serenade you when fans are allowed back in the stadium. I know you've heard about 20,000, 21,000, 25,000. I know your teammates say, just wait. And I'm going to throw a log on that fire. Just wait.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this for so long. So when the day comes, I'm going to be ready, and I'm so excited.
Sophia, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for taking the time. Obviously, good luck to you and the Thorns in the coming weeks during this fall series. And how great that you're finally going to get wearing Thorns gear.
Yeah,
finally.
I know. I'm so excited. But thank you for having me.
Cheers. Talk to you soon, Sophia. Stay safe.
Sounds good. You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.